Cook That Game does not condone murder, regardless of the purpose, including if that purpose is getting into Valhalla. I would make that very clear.
Abundantly. Hello and welcome back to Cook That Game and our very first episode of the cooking part. So if you haven't seen the board game part, definitely click down here to watch us and some of our best friends play Raiders of the North Sea. And for now, come with us on this adventure where we discuss and plan how to cook Raiders of the North Sea.
This magical journey of food and board games.
And friendship.
The real magic was the friends we made along the way, who were already our friends, which is why we invited them to come and play the game with us.
Shocking plot twist.
I know. So, what are we thinking?
What are we thinking?
In a game of meat sacks and wheat sacks, what do we think we need to be eating?
Well, yes, my brain definitely went to meat sacks and wheat sacks first of all, and I feel like maybe it could be cool to do a little nod to that in there.
Yeah.
I was doing some research into kind of like what was eaten in that part of the world in that time period, large as it was. Something that I was really drawn to was the way that meat and fish was preserved. So
yeah, you gotta preserve your fish when you go across the sea to murder people. You don't want to go murdering on an empty stomach.
It's true.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to get halfway there, get food poisoning.
Yeah.
And then the person you murdered was yourself.
Yes.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That would be bad. Although possibly less bad than actual murder.
I don't know though. If you die of food poisoning, do you get into Valhalla?
Probably not.
Probably not.
And
depends
really,
how valiantly you vomit into the sea.
And really, wouldn't that be the worst tragedy of all? Not going to Valhalla. Yeah.
Murder much.
Kids, don't let anyone stop you going to Valhalla.
Murder who you need to murder.
Yeah. Don't do that. That would be bad.
Please do not try this at home.
Cook That Game does not condone murder, regardless of the purpose, including if that purpose is getting into Valhalla. I would make that very clear.
Abundantly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, some sort of preserved like meat or fish.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the idea of maybe salting because I lost horribly and I am very salty.
You are quite salty, so we're just going to take your salt and apply it to the fish.
I have salt to spare.
Fair. It seems like stew was a pretty traditional thing too, though I'm not sure if the climate is right for stew at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, we are recording this in Australia, in North Australia, in summer, and we don't have air conditioning on because it messes with the audio. So if we start to sweat visibly during the recording of this, that's why. It's
actually just because we are rock stars, but also because of the summer.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, herring seems to be a super popular thing. I don't think that's something we can get.
No, but we might be able to get something herring-like.
It's true. Something else, a line that like sort of caught my imagination was that apparently people who had really prime real estate or were quite well off in the community had access to salmon or trout.
Ah.
So that was a bit of a like
I am strongly
specialty,
in favour of both these
right?
things.
Yeah.
And salmon is a very North Sea kind of food.
It has a North Sea feeling to it. You could have that like victory trout, that victory salmon.
Well, neither of us is getting victory trout.
We'll make our own victory. Salmon, salt.
The real victory was the friends we made along the way, who were already... We've done this bit.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, so salmon. Cool. So some kind of salmon stew, do you reckon?
Well, I mean, if we're doing it... I feel like we don't have to go completely historically accurate. Yeah, for me, it's more like drawing inspiration from that to make something that we would like to eat. Yeah. And I do love stew, but I don't know if I would put salmon in a stew.
It is a bit of a waste of a really good bit of fish. You want your stews to be something you'll cook for a long time to draw out flavour that's not already there. Salmon is super flavourful.
Yeah. Right? The inkling of an idea that happened for me was that the main way that they ate sweet stuff was berries and honey.
Yeah.
And I feel like that could actually, rather than being a dessert, pair quite nicely with the fish, depending on what we did.
Yeah, okay, that could be cool.
Yeah. Also thoughts, parsnips and turnips was a vegetable that was available.
Yeah.
So some kind of like puree there.
They are a classic like Northern Hemisphere winter vegetable.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm into it.
So yeah, is anything like tickling your brain with those flavors?
Ooh, I mean, I'm not specifically with those flavors, but as kind of a sidebar, just playing off our wheat sacks.
Oh yeah.
And milling grain.
Very important. Grain was also available.
Yeah,
So
of
course.
Could we do some sort of hardtack biscuit? Like something wheaty that would travel well, but make it kind of delicious.
I like this idea.
Yeah? You're into
Yeah.
it? Okay.
I feel like some kind of travel biscuit could be really good.
Yeah. To accompany our delicious post-murder feast.
The other idea is to just do, like a dense bread. If we did the fish in something saucy that was like a mopping up thing. Because apparently that was quite a traditional thing. They didn't have forks, something I discovered. Forks had not yet been introduced. So knives were your utensil of choice.
Okay, so are we going to eat this dish with only a knife?
I mean, it would be, barbaric.
And historically appropriate.
Barbaric not to only eat it with a knife.
That is true. Impale the meal with a knife and,
So, but I'm thinking in that case, a mopping bread.
That is true.
Seems delightful.
We need an official Cook That Game mopping bread.
Mopping bread.
Yeah. Okay.
Rather than a totally travel bread. Because if we're doing feast, right, that's less travel and more like returning home victorious.
That is true, yeah.
I do want to make hardtack.
We can try both.
But I like the idea of mopping bread.
Yeah.
I feel like that seems really fun.
I'm always on board with bread in like a nice saucy dish.
Apparently corn was available towards the very end of the Viking era. So
yeah, like I forget how long the Viking era was.
Yes.
It goes way into
Well, so apparently corn came over to Europe in like the 1490s.
Yeah.
That was when it was first brought back, and that was like sort of end of the Viking era and the sort of slightly Christian influenced Viking era. So
you've really done your homework.
Oh man, I was very excited, and I just went on this like weird wormhole. I was hanging out with my housemate Fletcher as well, who's really into like that part of Scandinavian history. And
we will probably need to insert a photo of Fletcher here just so people can understand the grandiosity of Fletcher and his beard.
And his beard.
Especially the beard.
It's long.
It is a magnificently Viking beard. We didn't realise until after we shot the episode that we really should have invited Fletcher. But we will bring him along
Our
another
bound
time.
Fletcher, sorry.
Sus friend. But we will get you for another game because you're a rad guy.
It's the truth. So, these were all just like kind of vague ideas. But I feel like, corn is maybe not like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But it could be a good mopping bread.
Cornbread.
Yeah. Like...
Would the Vikings have done cornbread?
I mean... Again, how historically accurate are we going, or
That
are
is
we
true.
just drawing inspiration for flavorful fun times?
I feel drawing inspiration is fair.
Yeah, so I like that idea that they would have mopped up stuff with a bread.
This is not a historical document. This is not going to be an authentic Viking feast. You will all just have to let us know in the comments what historical monsters we are.
It's true. We
fine.
are historical monsters.
Yeah. Smash that downvote button if that is what you feel compelled to do. Or smash the upvote button if you feel that, we don't need to be purely historical in our cooking show based on board games.
It's true. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the game is also not historically accurate.
What?
Seeing as it seems like they didn't kill or eat cows into meat sacks at all. It was lambs.
Are you saying that there were no historical meat sacks?
Well, there may have been lamb meat sacks, but the meeple shape is a lie.
Shem, we're very disappointed in you if
God
you
damn
ever
it,
see this
Shem.
video.
Thanks for a beautiful game, but
It's a real great game, but really you just completely failed us on the whole cow, lamb dilemma.
situation.
Yeah.
It could have been a herring,
Yep.
fish sacks.
Yeah. So. All right. So where are we at here? We're thinking some sort of salmon.
Salmon. Or trout, depending on what we can get. But I think beautiful pink fish.
Yep, I'm into it. Like some sort of like berry honey sauce.
Yeah, whether we want to do that as a sauce or a little like pickle condiment on the side kind of situation could be
Oh.
quite nice.
Okay.
Are we thinking of getting something already smoked? Do we want to attempt smoking a thing? Do we want to sous vide it with liquid smoke? Get modern AF?
We could get very modern.
Take
yeah.
that, history! Sous vide!
I'm kind of down for like, sous videing it with some liquid smoke. That could
I
be
think
really
that could be
cool.
really beautiful.
Yeah, get that smoky flavor without having to actually light any fires in my apartment.
You're just being a coward now, Sam.
It's true.
It's true.
But my cowardice is why I lost the game. So,
yeah.
it's true to theme.
It's true thing. But I feel like this is starting to come together. If we can find some turnips or some Swedes or something along that line.
Yep.
Puree?
Yeah.
Roast?
I'm feeling roast.
Roast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling roast.
Chunky, stabby roast.
Yeah. Stabby roast that we can stab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Exactly.
Um,
All right. So
in that case, we need a sauce
yeah,
for the mopping.
that is true.
But maybe we sous vide it with some liquid smoke, but also like a bit of butter or something. So you're going to actually
Yeah.
get the juices from the fish that
Yep.
we can make into a bit of a like smoky butter sauce.
I'm into it. Real into it. Okay, so are we still thinking berries and honey?
I love it. I think just a little pickle condiment side. I'm almost feeling like a nice little
So
like
pickled berries.
yeah, like a
I
fruity.
did not even know that was a thing.
Well, it not like a quick pickle,
Yeah.
a quickle, but like a fruity vinegar and
Okay.
a little bit of honey.
Yeah.
But if we wanted to take it more picklish, we could almost put some like a little bit of finely sliced red onion or some radish or something.
Yeah. Maybe radish.
Radish?
Radish feels more legit.
And
to me
beautifully
right now.
coloured.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, so let's just run this down. So we've got some sort of pink fish that we are sous videing in butter and
Liquid smoke
liquid smoke. Yep.
Mhm.
We have got some chunky roasted vegetables
for stabbing.
for stabbing. We have got some. Well, the fish will be kind of self-sourcing.
Yep.
With what's coming out of the sous
Maybe
vide
we
bag.
take that liquid, reduce it, add a little bit of, something, depending on how it comes out of the bag.
I'm pretty sure I've got some mead in my liquor cabinet right now.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Well, that could be the honey one.
That's true. Yeah.
And just go to full pickled berry and see how it comes out.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Science!
For science. And then we need some good mopping bread. So you're reckoning a cornbread?
I really like the idea of a cornbread. Inauthentic as hell, but like with inspirations.
That is true. It is inspirationally inauthentic.
Inspirationally authentic. Yes, maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
Good, we're going for it.
Okay.
If
let's
you
do
can make cornbread, always make cornbread.
it. All right. What is our cornbread process?
So the way that I like to make cornbread is kind of like a cake. You're doing butter, eggs, sugar, or like butter and sugar, whipping that up, adding your eggs, and then I like a mixture of polenta and cornmeal and some flour.
Yeah. Nice.
So you get the texture from the polenta, but it's not so much that it's incredibly dense. And then you use a bit of corn maize, if you can, and some plain flour or gluten-free flour, if you want to make it gluten-free. Bit of baking powder,
Yeah. Okay.
buttermilk, and yeah,
Then just chuck that in the oven.
chuck that in the oven.
We're thinking like cast iron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to do it in a big, like, round cast iron so we can have, like, wedgie boys.
Yeah. I do have a big round cast iron. So
Right? Ready.
We got you
for the
covered.
wedgie boys.
Exactly.
Also for stabbing, if not
That is true.
finger mops.
We can do both. We can stab the bread and then like mop it
with a knife.
on the knife. Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Sounds amazing. Oh, any herbs. Fresh herby times in the sous vide, on top. Maybe we just see what's at the coconut.
Well, we can find out. Are there any sort of authentically northern herbs?
That I didn't come across.
Yeah. We're really on a roller coaster between authenticity and gross inaccuracy. Aren't
Yeah. Good.
we? I'm into it.
Flavor is the most important.
That is true.
That's true.
We will ride the roller coaster through peaks and valleys of accuracy and inauthenticity, but then travel through the loop of flavor.
Yes, which is only ups somehow.
That's how physics works.
That's how physics of flavor works.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are the professional chef here, so
It's
I
true.
will trust you on the physics of food.
I am a level 18 food wizard.
It's true. She's amazing. I'm just here.
Having opinions.
Having opinions.
They are good opinions.
Look, it's how I roll. So, I think we've got a plan. Let's do it.
Shall we do
see
it?
you back here momentarily. Your stabbing knife is a lot bigger than mine.
Oh, I guess I need to compensate for something.
Okay.
All right.
Very excited about everything.
Is this how you do it?
Sure.
I promise to respect your chef's knife.
Please do.
And also your plates.
Okay, so
Alright, I'm going in.
going in.
Oh,
I'm doing some cornbread action first.
are you?
Yep. Look
I'm
at
just
this.
going head first into the
I am
salmon.
going. Okay. Wild. Okay.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Let me talk about this salmon.
Tell me about the salmon.
It's delightful.
Alright, I'm going in.
It's so creamy. The
Yeah.
smoke is just like subtle and kind of at the edges, which I really love.
Also, I just want to say, eating with a stabbing knife is a revelation, and I feel like I need to do this more often.
I feel so aware of how I put the food in my mouth. You know? Okay. First, I want to go in for a pickle.
Oh
This
yeah!
is-
Wow. That's good salmon.
But
Real good salmon.
have you tried stabbing a pickle now? Because okay, the blackberry's behaving better.
Okay. Yep. I'm into it. I'm apparently trying to cut. No.
I'm gonna do it in like
Break it down. Use your words, Tasia.
Oh yeah, damn. That was a great idea. Is in my professional opinion. But so yeah, maybe we should just sort of reiterate what we're doing here.
Yeah, let's run it down. So we have.
This is a sous vide salmon with liquid smoke and butter. Beautiful, tender, flaky, finished in a pan for that crispy skin. Then we've got pickle. We ended up finding some blackberries, raspberries, and radish. So that's just fresh and zingy. We did the vegetables really simply, a little bit of vegetable oil, salt and pepper till they crisped and caramelized, and then this gorgeous, not authentic cornbread, which I feel like we need to do some mopping styles. I'm going in for some mopping
I've
styles.
already done some mopping times.
So I'm doing a finger mop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm living the knife life.
You're living the knife life.
I'm about the knife life. Right. So I think we call this Raiders of the North Salmon. And this, my friends, is definitely how you cook Raiders of the North Sea.
Thanks for joining us. Oh, stabbing a veg.